What's up, guys, and thanks for joining me on another episode of Twisted Wrench Garage. This week we're actually going to be jumping into Ramona here. There's a few things on the back end of this truck on the suspension side that's kind of bugged me over the years since I've lowered it. I ordered some of those Speedway motors shock plates that go on the bottom of the leaf spring, and it replaces the factory one, but I wasn't a really big fan of how that fit up. So what I want to do is I want to go through and get the old ones, take the little plates and cut them down and weld them to the factory ones, and I want to use those instead because the shock mount is way better. Just the way that they've got the shock mount on the actual plate itself down there is a little off. It's cocked in a weird angle, and it makes the shocks feel a little weird. Another thing I wanted to do was I wanted to remove not really remove, but adjust the 2-inch drop shackles that I've got in the rear. I think what I want to do is I want to set those back to about factory, and then that way I don't have to run as much air in the air shocks in the rear. Because with it the way it is now, with that 2-inch drop shackle and the flip kit, without the air shocks, with 100 pounds of pressure in them, like the frame taps the axle, and I really don't want to C-notch this. I don't want to cut a frame up. It's not really my thing. But I think what we need to do first, and just to make it a little easier for you guys to be able to see, is I want to get this bed pulled off. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the rear bumper off, because that's something else I've been thinking about swapping out. So I want to go ahead and pull the bumper off. I want to pull off some of the air lines for the air shocks on the rear. We can get these wheels and tires off of here. And I want to look at getting this bed pulled off so you guys can see a little better. Plus, it'll make it a little easier for me to adjust those rear shackles, because I don't really feel like dropping the whole shebang out of there just to get to that shackle. I just want to get the bed up out of the way. I can undo the top bolts on those shackles and then jack up the axle, get that side up out of it, and readjust it where I want it to be, and we should be good there. So I guess there's nothing left to do but to get into it. Let's tear into this old girl. Like I said, first thing I want to do is I want to get this back bumper pulled off, be able to undo the wiring and all that kind of stuff. Be real simple. All right, with the old grill in the air, I can go ahead and disconnect these factory plugs, because I'm going to have to. These go to the tail lights. There's one on each side, and then I've got a trailer plug for my tag lights. So we're going to pull that out. Now we just need to remove 2 bolts from either side. Oh, wait. Forgot I got my air lines ran over here to this side of the bumper. So we might need to relocate that whenever the time comes. All right, we got 2 more on this side. Should be able to get these out. Just like that. Alright, we can set this aside, and I'll need to swap my plate over whenever I get the other bumper on. It's over here in the corner. I think you guys have seen it before. Alright, we gotta remove these bed bolts now. After all the bolts are out of the bottom of the bed, there's only 4 of them, 1 on each corner. We need to remove these 4 Phillips heads to get this filler neck free from this bed as well. I lied to you a little bit. There's 6. That one was a little in there. Alright, I'm gonna try to use an engine hoist to lift this whole thing off of here. could pull the tailgate off, I guess. I don't really feel like I need to. Now, you guys probably can't see this, but let me show you. This is what I got set up. I've got 2 ratchet straps crisscrossed. I've got the engine hoist at the farthest point. This thing isn't that heavy. I'm not worried about the straps breaking or anything. This should be fine. So let's see if we can get this thing lifted up off of here with this engine stand, or engine hoist, sorry. And see if we can get a better view of what's going on in here. It's coming up off of there. Yeah, I think the tailgate is definitely weighing it down some. Yeah. Set it down real slow like. I'm gonna pop this tailgate off of here. Now I'm curious if I can clear all of this. Probably would have been better if I pulled the tires off, so maybe I should do that real quick. Go ahead and get that out of my way, because it goes up into like a little chamber. Alright, let's try this again. Again is in my way. Just need to undo this shock bolt here, and you'll see why. I wasn't a huge fan of how they did it. Now that I got that shock off, you guys can see what I'm talking about. I had to buy my own bolt, which obviously didn't fit properly. Guess you're just supposed to use a way big size bolt for that, but I just don't like the way that's designed. So we got both bolts off both sides, one over there and one over there. We're gonna leave the top connected. We don't need to take it off. Now we need to get to pulling these off. And that is what we wanted to take off. Now that we've got those ones off, we need to get our new old ones set up to get put back on. Now, what we're gonna need to do is I've got the old plate that goes on the top of the leaf spring. This is what comes off the very top of it when you go to do the flip kit. This you just normally take off and just toss to the side. What we're gonna do is we actually need to take off this point right here, this side. We need to take this right here off so we can just make it a rectangle piece. And we'll need to actually weld it to this. And when I say we need to weld it with this curve in like this, we actually need this to sit in there like so. So we need to actually chop off this section so it'll sit down in there a little bit nicer. So let me get you guys set up and we'll get that cut off and we'll start getting her put together. Apparently I didn't hit record. I spent some time cleaning this up. I lopped that side off. Hope you guys saw that part. Unfortunately, I don't know if I hit record. So you can set that aside now. I'm going to get this cleaned up a little bit, get it prepped for us to weld on it. Let me get this set up in my bench here, my vise here. And we'll do that too. In there. So I'm going to use this level to kind of get it in a good enough spot. Alright, I think that's good enough. I'm going to attempt to try to tack this thing. Now keep in mind guys, I'm not a welder. I just have a welder. I'm trying to get better at using it. So don't critique me too badly when it comes to these welds. I'm doing the best I can. So let's see what we can do here. So for my research, we want to do 15 and 40. So 40 and then 15. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. So turn off on here. flux core welding, so there is going to be slag. You got to give it a good tap with a hammer, get all that crap off of there. And then we'll need to grind off all the little balls. They do make some stuff that takes care of that. It's like anti-splatter spray, and then there's some anti-splatter gel nozzle stuff. I tried getting some, but yeah. Oh well. I think this will be just fine. It just makes cleaning a lot easier, and it's supposed to give you better welds, but I mean, I'm doing what I can here. I don't, you know, like I said, I'm not a welder. I don't claim to be a professional welder or anything. I don't even claim to be a professional mechanic. I need to tap this down because when I welded it, it kind of came up some. So let's see if I can tap this down. One more to go. Quick coat of this gloss black, and that'll call this one good. All right. Let that sit and cure. All right, took some time and I got the other side taken care of. It's nice and refurbished. So that's ready to get put on. Reversing the process. That is one on. That's gonna fit my shop way better. I just need to get my washer over here. Well, there's one done. That was easy enough. I'm just patching this side back up, getting the shock back on. Oh, this one's going on a little bit easier than that other one was. There we go. Should be enough. Get our washer and nut started. Well, the lower shock plates are done, so that's one thing taken care of. It's one thing that was really bugging me, because the way that these were sitting, and I can kind of show you on this one, the way that this is, well, wrong side, I guess. All right, so But if you look at that compared to this other one, this one just definitely makes it easier in my opinion. And it also moves the strut this way some. Yeah, I just didn't like the way it fit. So I'm glad we did that. But I think I'm gonna call it a day and get back to this on another day and get to these shackles. And then we'll be able to get the bed back on, I think, but well, who knows? We might come up with something else to do. We're back on another day of working on Ramona out here. Got some time to come out and work on the truck again. Yesterday we got some progress. Got those factory shock plate, leaf spring plate things welded up and put back on the truck the way we wanted to. I went through and spray painted some stuff, gloss black last night as well, just to kind of clean it up in here, get rid of that rusty look. Not worried about it lasting forever, I'm just worried about it looking better for now. I think what we're going to do today though is I want to take a look at these shackles. I want to try to readjust the shackles as close to factory as I can, or so we'll see what happens. I think I might move it down 2 holes and then we'll see where it sits. I'll have to put the bed on it. I'll probably be happy with that because I think if I drop it down 2 holes, it'll put it back to about factory height. Well, no, 3 would be factory height, I think. I don't know. I'll have to double check. I'll look up and see if I can find the measurements on them because I can't find my old ones. I don't know where they are. But let's take a look at what how this all looks so far. All right, as you guys can tell, I did paint some of the stuff in here. Looks a lot better. I went through and back whenever I first got the truck, before I started YouTube, I actually pulled the bed off of this already once. I did the fuel tank and retrofitted a newer fuel injection tank to be able to work with my truck because the one that was in my truck, it had a hole in it. And I wasn't able to find one that was the right year, and I wanted to go to a car show. But that's past, but I did go through and I did coat this half of the frame back whenever I had the bed off last. But again, this is what we're going to be after right here. We're going to be jacking up the axle just a little bit just to get the weight off. We want to unbolt the bottom bolts from both sides. We'll get those pulled out, and then we'll jack the axle up enough so we can get these out and I can readjust them. With a 3/4 and a 13/16, we can pop this off. I do have some of the weight off the axle already. Alright. There's one. Let's get this other one off. It's not wanting to stay on there. Let's see if we can jack this up just a hair. I want to be able to get those bolts out. Almost. There we go. Alright. That one should be free as well. Now we should be able to jack this axle up a little bit and we should be able to get them free. Should. Once we get them free from these, we just gotta get it. We gotta get this high enough so we can get this bolt out because it's gonna hit the frame. And we want to get it to the point where we want to put it. So I did look it up, and the factory ones are about 4 inches long from what I found, and from here to here would be the 4 inches. So I'm actually just going to go to this one here. So We'll see how it looks. You can always readjust it. Not a big deal. That side. Really, these are the same size. Oh. That's not going to come off. Okay. That's going to be hot, so I'm going to let that cool down. It's going to get this side apart. Okay, so now I should just be able to set them where we want them. I'm gonna have to tap them out again, I guess. There we go. So I want to move it to here. Yeah, so we're going to be going down 2 holes. But we don't want to tighten this up until we get all the weight back down on it. I mean, what do you guys think? You guys think I should go to this hole, or do you guys think I should go to this one? I mean, this is factory, I want to say. But if we move up to this, each hole, from what I've measured, and I'm not a measuring person, but when I measure from half of the hole to the other, we're looking at, well, let's start with this one. 1 3/4. Next one, 1.5 inches. So these holes are roughly about 1.5 inches apart. So I'm giving it another, I don't know. But we're gonna see what it does. I think I'll be fine with that. Let's get this other one set up. So down 2 and back together. Those threads are looking a little suspect, but here we are. Again, we're not going to tighten it down, we're just snugging it up. Because I want to be able to still, I want it to still freely move whenever I go to put the weight on it. And then I'll tighten it down. Because like I said, you don't want to tighten down the bushing whenever it's like this, and then when you set it down, it stretches that rubber. You want all the weight to be on it, 0 basically, then tighten it down, and then when the suspension moves, then that rubber has movement. So now we just gotta set it back down in its spot and put the bolts back in. You see how high I had to go up with that just to be able to get these changed? That's because the bed would hit the bed. So that's why I pulled it off. So I want to get all this line back up. Same thing over here. Well, I spent some time, I got it back on the ground on all fours. Just tightening up these shackle bolts. Alright, so there's the tops. We just need to get the bottom. I had to use a special wrench for the inside to get to. What was the other? It was right here. So, we just need to snug down these bottom ones. And the shackles are adjusted now, so I think what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pull Black Pearl. She's in front of Ramona here. I'm going to pull her back, and I'm actually going to pull this forward, make it a little easier for me to maneuver this bed in here, because I had to get around all this stuff, and just giving myself more room might make it a little easier. That should be good right there. See how this goes. Now we gotta get it high enough to clear those tires. Should be okay to do that, now that it's on the ground and all. I got more room to work with. Curious how much lift that, changing that perch gave me, or that not perch, but the shackle. I'm curious how much that it gave me height-wise. I'm assuming, you know, an inch and a half, maybe. All right, so let's see if before we go up too high, let's see if we can get it closer to its position where we need it. Wish I had, you know what? I'm gonna do something here. Grab another strap. It keeps wanting to twist on me because of the straps that I'm holding it by. So what I'm gonna do, I think here, is I'm gonna hook on somewhere. So it's twisting this way, so I need to grab this side. Let's grab this side. Let's hook it to here. Then I can set it where I want it. I want to put it pretty straight. Alright. That should be good enough. Gotta get it up higher. me get over there. Getting tires. So, good right there. I gotta pull back on it, lift the front of it up some. But we did clear them. But I gotta move it towards the passenger side. Okay, a little better. Go forward some. We're gonna go down slow. I think I need to move towards you guys some. All right, getting real close. Goes up in its spot. There we go. So it's got to come back towards me and a little to the passenger side. Still got to go back further. It needs to go back this way now. A little harder to do when it's just you, I guess. Alright, what am I on over here? Alright, I think I've got it pretty close, so I can just go ahead and set it down all the way. Now I can move it by hand where I need it. Alright. Let's get this out of our way. Well, gotta unhook this. I should be able to move it by hand where I need it to. So we get the two corners, then everything else should be lined up pretty good. All right, spent a little time. I put the 6 bolts back in the bed. I just got to redo the filler neck. I think for now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the tailgate back on. We'll get the straps off, and we need to look at trying to get that bumper installed. Let's see. So here's the bumper I'm gonna end up putting on. I mean, if my other bumper, that Ram Charger bumper, was straight, I definitely would be putting it back on here. I do like the way it looks better, but I mean, with this, it's gonna be straight. It's gonna look a lot better because, as you can tell, right there, that last bumper I had, it was rubbing right there because it was pushed in. So what I need to do first is I need to loosen these up just a hair. Just so this bracket can move easier so we can line the bolts up a lot easier. So let's get up underneath there, see if we can't get this position and get the bolts started. All right, we're getting this thing set up where it needs to go here. Nope, we need to go further in. No, there you go. Needs to go in that hole right there. Down a little bit. Oh, down a little bit. Right there. All right, let's grab the other bolt. Get it started. Mine's not lining up. Alright. Now we can get our nuts and stuff back on. Lock washers. Oh, see, that nut bumper is bent right there. Dang it. I can't get a straight bumper. I can probably straighten that one out a little easier. Let's get underneath here. Get these going here. Alright, bumper's all bolted on. I did straighten up this side a little bit. Just used a couple sledgehammers. It was just tweaked up a little bit. It's still up just a hair, but this bumper's not rubbing anymore, so that's good. What we need to do now is we need to worry about our tag lights, because those aren't going to work. Oh. So I'm going to have to run up to the parts store and grab some. Because they're both just cut off. And that bulb was just broken off. All right. And we also need to go through and inch and 7/8 ball on there. Huh. We need to get our tag moved over. So let me go see what I can find for tag lights. And we'll come back and we'll get these all hooked up and wired up and ready to go. So I went up and grabbed one more of these style of tag lights. I did grab two. I forgot I had one on the truck that was the same size or same kind. So I pulled the one off of there. I'll take the other one back. But what I need to do is I need to take and run this through here, and I'll have to run some extensions to go across so it can also connect. But the holes aren't going to line up. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of getting it roughly in a good spot that's even and in the middle. There's that hole. There, okay. So now if I go down just a hair, I should be able to mark my holes. Up. Alright, so that should be good enough. So I need to take and drill this to, what is that? Can't even read it. It's so tiny. 64th something 64ths. 9/64. But before I do that, I'm doing a pilot hole with a smaller one to make it easier to drill. I don't have a spring punch, so I just gotta start it myself. So our pilot holes are started. Now we just need to make them bigger. And the screws I'm using are whatever was in this bumper before. It's like a fine thread self-tapper style of screw. So it's making its own threads. See, when you do a little pilot hole first and then move up to your size, it's a lot easier to drill through. Just like that. So now I'm just gonna take my screws and run them in. We just gotta put it on, and we'll have to do the wiring. Let's get that in position. That one started down here. There we go, we got tag lights. We just gotta wire them up now. And after just a quick little wiring job, we have some working tag lights. All right, well guys, we got what we wanted to get done. We made some progress on Ramona. This rear suspension change definitely made a big difference. It's sitting about the same height now as it did before, with 100 pounds of air pressure in the rear shocks. And right now, there's nothing in there. It's just springs and just the air shocks are empty. And it's sitting at the same height. I've got it 28 inches from the ground to the fender well. I didn't measure beforehand. It was definitely lower. So, you know, we got those lower shock plates done. Got the back bumper on. Adjusted those shackles. Super happy with how it came out. I think definitely needs to get the bumpers and stuff cleaned up and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, again, you just do it a little bit at a time. You're not going to get it all done all at once. So I do appreciate you guys tuning in, hanging out with me while we were working on the truck. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys on that next episode.